As a content creator, brand deals and sponsorships are a really good majority of a lot of our income that sustain us to continue being a creator. But I want to share with you this email of this fake brand sponsorship opportunity so that you don't get caught and get scammed or even get your accounts stolen right from you. So let's jump in and do a little screen share here. And this particular email looks as though it's coming from a company called 7 Up. So if you're familiar with soda pop soda, you've probably heard of 7 Up before. So now there are a lot of red flags in here, but my background is in IT and even more specifically IT security. So a lot of these pop out very quickly to me. But as a creator, there were some things I had to learn as well because there are opportunities in things that could look like a scam. So let me educate you through this from my perspective. So as we look here on the screen, it says the title, Let's Collaborate for Engaging Content. Now, there's nothing out of the ordinary with that title. So nothing stood out there. But as I look at the email here from 7 Up team, it says King UAD at sfr.fr. That's the first indication that this isn't legit. Okay. Now, it says 7 Up team. So before your eyes quickly go down and see the soda, you have to think 7 Up team. Do you know what that is off the top of your head? In my mind, it was the soda company. But if you don't, that could just look like, hey, I'm not quite sure what this is. You're probably not skeptical yet, but I was pretty skeptical initially because when I saw 7 Up as a company, I'm looking for that parent company email address to validate that this is real. So then we continue on into the actual first email that was sent over to me. And it says, Hi, Monty. I represent the 7 Up team. Now, there are a lot of cases where you will get an email from a company on behalf of another company. They're a third party. They facilitate a lot of the collaborations with influencers and creators. So that phrase doesn't surprise me because I get that quite often as well. Okay. So it is something to take note of. So this is kind of their backdoor way of letting us know that, hey, you may see this different email address, but we represent this company. So just, something to be aware of. So it says, we've been watching your channel for a while and appreciate the way you connect with your audience. Again, nothing I haven't heard before. We'd be glad to chat about a possible project together, something that could be exciting both for your viewers and for us. If you have a moment, please let me know when you'd be free for a quick call. It says, Cheers, Robert Oliver. Now, the name Robert Oliver sounds like a normal US based name, but one thing that always gets my attention is when the signature block doesn't have a website, a phone number, the company name, a little slogan, anything like that. So when an email sent to me for a collaboration that doesn't have any of those things, it's another red flag for me. So that's exactly what I say in my response is there's no information here. What do you do? Website, which platform? So that lets you know. I'm just not telling you this. This is stuff I see. And so when I see those types of emails with no signature blocks or very little context of what is being looked for potentially in a collaboration, my ears kind of perk up, my eyes get a little bit bigger. So here's the next response, and this is the response that I really wanted to make this video for to show you with, because this is how they're able to get so many people account information unknowingly to the person that this was emailed to. So their goal is to get me to click around on the images, on the links, and you'll see a little bit more here. Okay. So here's their response. 7 Up has a legitimate looking logo. Thank you for your response in collaboration with us. But if I look at Robert Oliver at the title here, and I go back up to the top, why didn't Robert Oliver's name show up here with this email address? Why did it show up? Because he said his name was Robert Oliver. It only showed up down here in this follow-up. And if I look at the details of this, this is where the email looks legitimate now. It says collab at 7up-team.com. Sounds like a legitimate email address compared to the first one that was sent. But the names are the same for both email addresses, right? So it doesn't make sense. All right. So if we kind of scroll down here, again, it says, thank you for your response and interest in collaborating with us. To make our collaboration as efficient as possible, let's clarify a few key points. We are happy to discuss cooperation and confident that it will help you deliver high quality content while introducing your audience to 7UP's innovative products. Now, here's one of the things that as a content creator, I'm aware of as consideration to my audience. I don't talk about soda on my platforms. I don't talk about drinks on my platform. I don't talk about this particular product industry, if you will, on my platform. So right off the bat, this doesn't even interest me as a creator. So really think about, hey, just because I'm getting these emails or these opportunities, does it even make sense for me to continue any further? But we will. Publishing schedule. When are your upcoming videos planned, and would it be possible to plan an advertisement in one of them? Number 2, if you have no available slots next week, how fast do you think I can churn out content, at least good content next week? Could we discuss the possibility of adding an extra video? So when a brand or a company is trying to rush you on doing something, it's probably not going to work out in your favor. Like, I still have a lot of things to get done throughout the course of the day, and a YouTube integration video is not going to fit in the same week. Like, I've had to plan that out in advance. It is important for us to launch the presentation of the new product on time. We would appreciate your response and look forward to a long-term and successful partnership. 7UP's been around a while. This doesn't sound new. It's not a new flavor. They've been around for a while. Compensation details, $5,000, 50% upon signing, 50% after the video is published. As soon as we receive confirmation of your signature, we'll send the initial $2,500. Once the video is live, you'll send us a link to receive the final $2,500. Now, before I jump into this bottom section that I really want to get into, when the brand is willing to offer you something, but you haven't even come up with an idea of what that looks like, there's no indication of, hey, we want you to do a 30-second ad slot. We want you to do a full-length video on this product. We want you to just put the soda can in your video so people can just see it. Like, they're willing to pay, but there's no discussion of what actually is the collaboration terms. Now, this bottom part is the part that you definitely want to pay attention to. Anytime you have links or things that can be clicked or downloaded, be cautious. They want me to download this enclosed file, but they've actually spelt it wrong. ECLOSED. Now, typically, brand relationship managers that work with influencers, they've sent these out a lot of times, and I'm sure they've caught this mistake if they've been sending this out to other influencers. So looks so suspicious there, right? So they spelled it wrong. Then they have a password for me to put in. And then on the right side, in the enclosed file, you'll find the agreement terms and contract deal introductory videos. To open the contract, please use an archive tool like WinRAR. It's necessary. Try running it as an administrator, how to extract and unzip the file. So basically, they want me to go in here, unzip these files that are basically going to put files on my computer that are probably going to either be viruses, or it's going to have some type of tracking software built into it so that they can track my keystrokes on my computer. So anything I go to, any websites I go to, social media accounts, banking accounts, web surfing, anything I go to, they can begin to track it with all the keyboard strokes, okay? This is why it's important to delete these emails. Just delete them. The only reason I have it is because I'm making this video for you. Next steps. Review the material. It takes no more than 5 to 7 minutes. That's just enough time for them to get everything they want. Because as soon as I download these files, they'll get a notification that, hey, this is active. Start tracking, start logging this information right now. Okay. Send the completed contract in a reply message within 2 days. If you have any other questions or suggestions, we'd be happy to discuss them. Looking forward to your response. If you've reviewed the materials, please send the contract, the payment method to continue our collaboration. And then down at the bottom, best regards, the 7UP Partnerships Team 2025 7UP Inc. Okay. Very common to see a lot of emails from email addresses I'm not familiar with. Not common to see a blatant trying to scam you like this one. So if you haven't seen this one already, I hope you are aware. Be aware of all the different emails that you are receiving from different potential collaboration partners, and keep yourself safe as a creator.